effect, swagger, and the Jedi's in sight. It's a comic book cocktail, shaken and stirred. We're the coolest cats in the whole nerd herd. Grab your badge and strike.
Welcome, everybody.
Well, welcome you too. I'm going to consider myself part of everybody.
Yeah,
So,
you are.
yeah.
You get to count. You're human. Not that I'm trying to insult you.
I just got done sharing. I was just explaining to Ash, not that anybody's watching yet, so I'll explain it again later. I'm not feeling good today. I'm not. I'm just out of it. So if I'm not peppy, you got to look for the Ash hole over there to give all the pep now tonight. It's all him. So no pressure. It's not like you're not doing everything else already. There we go. Public chat. So how you doing, brother?
I am doing okay ever since I saw you this morning.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, I stopped off at John and Christie's this morning because for my mother's birthday falls just about the same as Mother's Day, and I used to all the time as I was a little kid. I used to get her, plants and stuff like that, and of course it's me, so of course it's got to be weird plants. And I found a particularly weird plant to get her this year, and it came in the mail last Friday, so I took it to her this weekend. And when I got it, I was like, "This plant is so cool! I don't want just one. That you could either buy one in a pot, or for a little bit more, you could just buy 3 of them that were as starter plants without pots." And so I bought the 3-pack. And one for my mommy, one for me, and I gave the other one to John and Christy. And what they are, they're the BioLite Firefly petunias.
I love how you say you gave it to John and Christy. You gave it to Christy.
Oh, I totally did. I mean, if I give it to you, it's because I don't like it and I want to kill it.
It's like saying that Star Trek comic you picked up today was for you and Jess. Yeah.
Yes, it totally is. It totally is. No, but this plant is odd and strange because they have genetically spliced in a gene that allows it to do bioluminescence. So when it's fully healthy and charged up and has all the light it needs and all the stuff it needs, when you turn off all the lights and it's completely pitch black, it very, very slightly glows a bioluminescent green. And you know what? I like that.
See, I like that too. I've not yet seen it because it has not yet been dark. And Gabe came by, saw it, and right away he was more interested in the 3D printed pot you made than the flower. He's like, "Oh, it glows. That's cool, but this pot." and so, like I was showing him where it unscrews. He's worried about it absorbing moisture and then get mold in there.
I believe on that one, as well as the other ones that I made, I could be wrong, but I believe on that one, because I made it so long ago, I actually took, I have a Gorilla spray sealant, Gorilla Glue spray sealant that I sprayed the inside with so it wouldn't soak through. It's the same thing that I've done to the to our wine chillers, because remember the first batch of wine chillers we had, all the water would leak out. And now they don't, is because I've sprayed and sealed them on the inside with that stuff.
Oh, I figured you did went back through and reprinted them with Pet G or something like that.
No. I let me see here. It's right here. Let me grab it.
Oh, Jim says I need a show and tell with this plant.
Yeah, it's Gorilla waterproof patch and seal.
I've seen that. I haven't tried it. Normally, anything that I try to weatherproof lately, I've just been doing with Pet G, and then I paint it and clear coat it. And I mean, it seems to be doing fine. The only problem I had was learning that the outer walls have to be at least 4,
3 or 4 walls.
Otherwise it's just going to melt in on itself, which I've had happen with a couple prints, and that's.
And that's the thing. That's the reason I use that waterproof seal. If it's something that I do not want it to, have water go through, I just take it outside, hit it with that sealant, give it 2 coats, and everything's good.
I might try. Just right over here. I got a Ghostbusters yard gnome that I'd made,
Mhm.
and I made it out of PLA and something. I was like, ah, I'll never be able to put that
Oh,
outside now. And
no.
you think if I sprayed it, that might work? Or
No, the problem isn't the absorption of water with PLA. The problem with PLA is in the bright Kansas sun of summer, um, the plasticity point of the PLA is about 80 degrees Celsius. And so in that hot sun, it'll start to slump.
okay,
I've had
that's why I was
prints up
wondering.
that'll do that. That's the reason it's suggested for outdoor stuff. You either want to use PET G or ASA.
See, and
Hey, Jen.
that's the thing with me is on a lot of this stuff. Like I dove right into making the things I want to make, the kits and shit. I just recently started printing with anything that wasn't PLA after
Right.
about 2 years. I mean, it took me a while to like
I have
move
I have
on and try
very
stuff.
few rolls of anything but PLA. Most of my stuff is PLA because it's not going outside. But if there's anything like for the plot the flower pot for my petunias, since I'm getting that brighter bulb for it,
Mhm.
the grow bulb that is going to have some heat problems because the brighter the light, the more heat it's going to give off into it. The top shroud, where before I'd printed it out of PLA, now I'm going to print the new shroud out of ASA. That way, it won't deform from the heat and melt and slump and stuff like that. Matter of fact, let me see here.
Hey, Berto. I figured I'll wait for my new machine to come in, and then I will
Let's go over here.
try to mess with
There's
some of
my
the other things.
there's my plant over there in the pot. Let me turn off
Okay, so yeah, and I know we're
the.
just talking 3D printing at this point, but I was very interested in this pot because this is not at all like the pot you made, Christy. This is much bigger, and you
Yeah,
printed
let
that
me
ramp or
go to the manual focus. There we go. And you see there's the plant and the pot, and then that top part slides up and down, and it has a light that is over it, and that's what I'm using to keep the light on, because those plants require bright direct sunlight for 12 to 16 hours a day.
so that's not the light you didn't print, the light you bought.
The light bulb.
No, the light itself, the casing for it and all that.
Well, no. The wiring and stuff like that. That is purchased as well. And I'll of course send you the link for all that. And then you have to take it all apart in order to run everything through and reassemble.
Okay, because from
But
here
let's
it
go
almost
back.
looks like some about the size of a paint can and a just like a light you buy at the store. But I couldn't,
Yeah,
couldn't tell. All right.
kind of is, but not. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me go back over here. Turn off the autofocus.
Now, see, that gets to be a lot of my stuff. I started a new greenhouse for Christy and stuff, so it's it's a
This
lot.
is a
It's a
brilliant
lot.
conversation. Thank you, Randall. I'm glad that
You-
you're titillated by it. Uh,
yeah. Now, Randall, we were talking 3D print at this point, which I'm about to talk more of. So get fucking used to it. I'm sorry. Again, guys, I'll mention I have not been feeling
hey,
good,
Katie.
so we're winging a few things. But let's hit Geekgasm just real quick. I got a couple 3D print things, and if we are in a little early tonight, I'm not going to be totally against it. Cookie did say tell everybody hi, because believe it or not, he's working tonight. So he's doing inventory
He's
with his
working?
yeah, he Angie's job. He's doing inventory with her. So
Yeah, I'm sorry that I sounded so incredulous right there. I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
bad
Well,
about
it's
that. Right?
just he hadn't been working for a while. So before I get to my geek, well, I'll just do my geekgasm first because it's very similar to last week's geekgasm. Matter of fact, it's sitting on last week's geekgasm because last week was, I believe it was that autograph.
Oh
But
yeah, where you got God, what is her name?
oh god, it's Patty
Yeah, her from
Patty.
SNL.
Yeah, but I can't remember the actress's name now. But my mind's spent. But the one I got today, which I had to buy from a distributor because I got Ivan Reitman. So Ivan Reitman, of course, director of Ghostbusters. He
Yeah,
passed
he's
away.
not giving out any autographs anymore.
Not anymore. So I had to get this one post-mortem. Is that the deal? But I got it with Ghostbusters and of course he's done plenty of other good movies. Evolution, one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, God, I loved Evolution. Hey, John.
Hey Joe. And but the thing is like at first when he passed away, I watched a lot of autographs from these dealers, and I'm like, Oh, it's staying low. I'm good. Hell, I met the guy in California. I could have got the autograph there, but there were so many people to get autographs from. And I thought, okay, I'll just get it anytime soon within like 2 months. Because normally right away it'll go up. Within 2 months, it went from about $30 an autograph to like 130 an autograph.
Mhm.
So then I got this one for $20. I was very impressed. But it's a guy I've bought from many times before.
So you
He
didn't have to
got
do the
some.
scratch test on it or nothing.
No. Yeah, it's all good and well, and I trust the guy. Um, but so I got a hold of him and I just said I would love to get one. He's like, I got one for $60, and I sent him an offer of like $20, and he said, sure, and that was it. So I like it. I was happy. I was tickled to death. Came in the mail. Um,
Damn.
so
Tell him,
and
tell him I got $150 for his car. Uh,
I I got a feeling he'd got a batch of them because like that other one I got, he'd gotten a batch,
ah,
and they
so he
were
was
up for
sitting on
about
his
a week,
back.
and then they all went away, and
Mhm.
so. But that's all right.
Well,
At least he likes me, I guess, because I'm a repeat customer, or I'm a
very good.
sucker, one of the two.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there
Hey,
in the toilets.
you're one born every minute is what you are.
I mean, some of these I hate buying stuff you don't get it from the person because all the time I go, people are like, "Well, it came with a certificate of authenticity." That doesn't mean shit. I mean, most of them are comic stores that print their own. I mean, I can print certificates of authenticity right here. You
Yeah,
sign them, and yeah, it could be easy, but and I know I bought some bad ones in the past, but
that's okay. As long as you can sell them on to the next sucker, that's all that counts.
no,
Uh,
I can't do that, man.
I know.
I've thought about it, and I just because I've even sat here talking to Chris sometimes, like, oh, I could forge a signature, no problem. I could forge 100 signatures, send them out there, but I can't contaminate the market like that. Like I would, my heart would sink. Uh,
Yeah, Katie's
moral of the
asking.
story: wait to get autographs from your favorite celebrities after they've left this world. No, normally they go up in price.
Yeah,
Um, thoughts on Evil Dead Burn teaser? The first picture of the movie. Have not seen it yet. Dang it. Um, gosh, so much stuff came out this week, and most of my geek time has been to analyzing what Marvel leaks are real and what ones aren't.
just stay away from them, man.
It's well, the problem is they're all over my feed like constantly, and
Well,
I'll see stuff.
yeah.
Some
I'm
of them
sorry.
are,
I actively go through and just don't show, don't care, don't show, block. And until it's all clean for my stuff.
some
And
there's some stuff like that. I'm definitely that way. The Marvel leaks anymore, how I get is I pay attention to the market. Everything's happening. Like I was telling you this morning, I
mhm.
got thousands and thousands of comic books, and a lot of them need sold. And there's a lot of my some of them I've been hanging on to for 20, 30 years, waiting for that right moment. And so when they announced the right leak, for example, uh,
The
Secret
problem
Wars
is,
#8 right now, if anybody has a Secret Wars #8, that is going to skyrocket through the roof. I mean, it's already high, but it is going to skyrocket with the next movie. And knowing that in advance, like I went and had one of my Secret Wars #8 signed by Mike Zeckton, who's one of the artists on that. Now it's worth way more money. So when I go to sell it in 4 months, I'll get 4 times the price of it. So
that
that's a lot of
reminds
why I do that.
that reminds me. I'm looking up Kansas Con 26 to see if they have any other new guests coming out.
Kansas,
Um,
well, and Richard just announced. Shit, I can't remember his name. Now you brought it up, but one of the artists for the animated Turtles and Muppet Babies. He's one of the guys that came up with the Muppet Babies concept. I just say because Muppets fan.
and that's for
That
ICT.
reaches me for ICT. Um, the Kansas Con, I saw their big
They got
announcement earlier
two.
this week.
They have
Yeah,
two listed, and one is Ron Perlman, and
right.
the other one is Dexter Vines, who is apparently an inker for Marvel.
Which I still haven't looked him up yet. That's an inker I do not recognize. Ron Perlman I've got to see before, and he's awesome. I will say I had I got a little disappointed when I got to stand there and talk to him for a minute, because when he was there at Planet, he'd been sitting at the table signing autographs all day and stuff, so he was hunched like this. And here's a guy, big imposing guy you always see, and then when he comes and talks to you and he's hunched and his head is about to my chin, and you're like, that's not Ice Pirates Ron Perlman, that's not Hellboy Ron Perlman, that's Ron Perlman who's had too much of this fucking convention Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
And it was a little disappointing, but
that's Ron Perlman making his minimum. That's what Ron Perlman is.
yeah,
Which Ron Perlman that was. Yeah.
so
Trust me, I feel for him with that.
I'm looking forward to seeing him. I just know that unless you're a con that does what Kansas Con does and split those guarantees from state to state,
Yeah, the guarantees, yeah.
there's no good way of any local con like ICT or AirCap or even like our Anime Fest or anything getting a guest of that caliber, because he won't make his guarantee here, I bet you.
What gets me is I just went to their website and looked, and they have the 2 guests listed, and then they have 2 more slots that says coming soon. So apparently they're only shooting for 4 guests.
I think they're shooting for 4 industry guests, which is what the newer anime festivals that came through were. But last year, if you remember, and I remember saying it, and I think it was because it was their first year in town, they threw so much at the wall. I mean, they had like all 4 of the original Ninja Turtle voices from the first series. They had 3 people from Star Trek.
2.
Just 2.
Yeah.
They had Scott Ines there from Scooby Doo. They had, I can't even remember. It was
he had the most stellar booth, man. He had a great booth. Definitely booths that stuff up.
Yeah. Well, and then because of that show, John from McConnellCon saw him there. Yeah. And what I understand, I could be speaking out my ass, but I try to give credit where it's due. I think Scott, because of that, and he did well at that show, came to McConnellCon for free, I think, or plane ride, and he was giving out autographs and stuff. He signed my Scooby shit for me for free, just because, well, I had a lot of Scooby shit. But yeah,
Roberto says he just wants to see Pat Boone and Conway Twitty. I think first they'd have to hire a necromancer. I think maybe.
Well,
I'm not sure.
We could do it at ZomCon. We could do, yeah. Just make it work.
Once again, the necromancer. All right.
Yeah.
The ultimate people recycler.
Before I get on this 3D print stuff, did you have a geekgasm you wanted to share today? Randall says that ICT Comic Con, we guarantee every celeb a $25 iTunes card and 3 soft tacos from Taco Bell. That sounds like a Randall gift package right there.
Well, yeah, the question is those tacos, are they going in soft or just coming out soft? That's the question. No, let me see. Geekgasm. I got my mom the plant. My printer, as I mentioned to you, my printer, they, out of the blue, they had promised since it had first been released last year that they were going to come out with a multi-color thing for it. And it had been pushed back so many times that everybody thought it was just, the thing that was never going to happen. And it was actually becoming a industry joke of, it's going to be there about the same time as the Elegoo multicolor. They just dropped that this week, and I got the pre-order in, and it is amazingly cheap to get that multicolor add-on to it. It's only $55. It just blew my mind.
I know. Boy, Pat is still alive. Pat Boone's still alive.
Really?
Oh, shit.
Well, maybe he's got Conway in the urn. I don't know.
I didn't mean to screw you there.
And let me see. So I'm very excited about that's going to be coming in. And the other thing is that, and this is just me geeking out, doing lighting systems. I've been talking about using those ESP32 boards in order to run lighting inside my systems and inside my models. And the ESP32 boards are a little big. They're a little big, little chunky to fit inside some of these models. I found that there's a super mini version that will be able to run the programming that I want it to. And it's got the same inputs and outputs and everything. I mean, it doesn't have 32 of them like this one does, but it has many of them that I can use. So, and these things are cheap. These are like $3 a pop.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, so, dude, when you are ready to start lighting up your pack, we
I,
can do
I
some amazing things.
I want to. I got so much stuff I want to start lighting up, but I've been having so many 3D print problems here. Both my machines have been down. I
Hmm.
almost just broke down and bought new machine. I looked again, the one you got, and that was my problem. Is that's the machine I was planning on, but
Hmm.
then they didn't release the multicolor. And then now that I bought a machine, they released the multicolor. Uh, but I didn't buy a 4-color machine. I did. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do a live unboxing on here or something. But I was on Amazon. Gabe sent me this. It's the same machine he's got, only it's the single color. Uh, that it's about a $400
Adult Con?
machine.
Hold on. Roberto says at Adult Con, we just promised them a certain number of subscribers. You guys really need to learn. What the hell's Adult Con?
Well, I could give you some guesses just off the top of my head. Knowing Berto, I could give you even more guesses.
Yeah, there's that, but is that a local con? I've never
Not that
heard of
I'm aware of. But you got to remember, Berto goes all over the place for stuff. Uh, that's not
it.
entirely a joke. I took none of that as a joke, Berto.
Yeah,
Not a
I
single,
seriously,
none of
this
it.
was not RoboCop territory. I took you at face value on that one,
Yeah.
and apparently some of those actors are taking it at face value too. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh no,
Um,
that's one of the bad things about having some of those conversations with Berto sometimes is like you'll talk about like a porn actress, you actually know who they are or something, and he'll be
yeah.
like, yeah, I worked with him. Well, fuck, now I can never watch that porn again because I'm gonna think of you every time I watch that. So it just messes it up for me now.
Well, what? Come on, you weren't thinking about him already? Give him
Nah,
some props. All right.
that's why I
Uh,
had to watch the porn in the first place. That's it. But
um,
no,
but
um,
anyways, yeah.
oh,
So
I was talking
that's
about
my
that
other
printer.
thing. So I'm just working on
Oh,
that, working on my new model that I'm going to get done. I've got the other one. That's all. Yeah. So basically, that's my that's what I'm working on right now. And yeah, that's it.
well, that printer I was talking about, Gabe had sent me. It was same as $400 printer. It was. I looked it up today because I told you wrong. $69,
Mm-hmm.
and the others on there were listing between 270 and 400 depending on. And
Mm-hmm.
this was a $69 printer, and it seems like it was a mislisting because once I bought it, they took it down, but it is currently being shipped to me. So either I
So
made a
when
60
is the expected arrival date?
between May 15th and June 1st. So we will
So
see.
that is going to be anywhere from 2 weeks to a month out.
Yeah, one way Amazon's been lately, like I ordered the new belts for my current printer. They were supposed to be here 2 days ago. They still have not even been set out for delivery. Last I checked, they were in Lenexa, Kansas. So 2 day delivery didn't mean shit, and I've had that a couple times with Amazon recently. So we'll see.
I have heard some very interesting things about how Amazon right now is really panicking.
Mhm.
Like the latest article I was reading is because there was a group of like 200, I think it was 200 different um, advertisers, people that use their advertising services for Amazon, boycotted Amazon in order to get them to change what they were doing. I forget what it was that they were doing, but I
Mhm.
mean, but they weren't like your normal run of the mill mom and pop companies. Betwixt all these people, their total ad revenue was over $2 billion a year for Amazon.
Shit.
And so, needless to say, Amazon changed whatever ruling it was that pissed them off, changed it within 48 hours. And one of the reasons that Amazon is starting to see a plateau and a decrease in their amount of new sales and new generated sales is because a lot of the Gen Zers coming up and also millennials, they're no longer, I mean, where we automatically think, okay, I see an ad, I'm going to go to Amazon. These people, they're not seeing Amazon ads. They're seeing ads on TikTok and stuff like that. Like, what was it? Of the certain sales, like 12% of them were generated from ads on TikTok, and others were getting it from like Instagram and Reels and all the other stuff like that. So, and YouTube Reels. And so Amazon is starting to see a decrease in their power of their advertisements, which they get a lot of money for. So you're going to start seeing a lot of interesting things coming from Amazon as they try to scramble, because they're no longer at the point where they can just dictate everything. Right now, things are getting to the point where they're having to actually change what they're doing to appease other people, because it is having an effect on their bottom dollar.
Well, that's actually good to hear. I'll jump back on the 3D print stuff here in a minute, but this year, a bunch of us had breakfast with, I don't know if you remember, there was this soap guy up at Hannibal that we see every year, and he wants to make soap out of our mead. I'd mentioned, maybe not.
That sounds a little kinky.
Yeah. No, he's got a great soap booth, and he sells. I mean, it's a very. I know a lot of us all know people that sell soap and jewelry and stuff at conventions. This guy's like, he makes a couple $100,000 a year selling soap.
Nice.
He does very well, and I see him every year, and I talk to him, and I like him because when we did that show in Quincy, he was one of the few vendors that like really stuck with us and made shit happen and really pushed it, even though I knew he was probably losing money on that show.
Right.
But we had breakfast with him this year and got to talk about stuff. We got to talk about the winery, and he really talked about Amazon a lot, because the majority of his sales, well, not the majority, a good chunk of sales, I can't remember, go through Amazon.
Right.
And he goes, every time he sells through Amazon, he loses money. But you about got to have an Amazon store to advertise and get those customers.
Right.
He says he gets more new customers through Amazon than anything.
You're starting to break up a little bit, man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do there. But because of all the Amazon fees and stuff, he takes a loss every time he sells more stuff on Amazon. Okay, am I there now? Sorry.
Audibly, you are. Your visuals are catching up.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Ask the people in the audience. Is John breaking up for you? There, you guys too, or is it just me? Because you seem to have frozen now. Hold on.
Yeah, it says trying to reconnect. You can hear me. There it is. Back on. Yeah, no, it's doing something weird. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, I don't know either.
Next week I'll just go upstairs and see what I can do there, because I got a whole different internet connection up there. But yeah, he was talking about how he loses money with every bar of soap, but it's also about the only way he can get new customers other than going to festivals. And so it's like having to pay advertisement, and Amazon knows it, and they make money off the soap every time. And he says there's just no changing it. Amazon is horrible for small businesses.
And that's one of the changes now is through short form video and advertising on short form video, a lot of places are getting more traction with that than they are getting currently with the Amazon advertisements, because a lot of individuals are no longer going to Amazon. They're watching stuff on their TikToks and their Reels and stuff.
It's
Which
like when I
reminds me,
was
we can really do a reel thing, like an Instagram or something.
when I was doing leather full time and selling all over the world, eBay was my big. That was the big way to sell leather. And yeah, John says breaking up vocals.
Yeah, they're on a little bit of a delay. You're much better now.
But yeah, eBay was the way to go. And then eBay turned around and they were horrible for small businesses when I got out of it. They got better again. But when I was selling on eBay all the time with my old account, it got to be where, well, I know I've bitched about this 100 times, but like you'd make a suit of armor, and if anybody complained about anything, like they went, oh, you know what, I'm going to lose some weight as you're making it. You could be 2 weeks into making the thing, and or a couple days or whatever, and you've already cut the leather. And then they'll go, you know what, tell you what, I'm going to lose weight. Let's make it smaller. Or, you know what, I gave you the wrong measurements, make it bigger. Or I told you I wanted it all dyed red, but now I want it dyed blue or whatever. You're like, well, I already dyed it red. And if you don't change it, then eBay just gives them the money back and you get a ding. And so people were just doing that all the time, even when they just had buyer's remorse sometimes. They'd buy a full suit of armor, turn around and go, you know what, I don't want it now. And then they would just make a complaint. You get in trouble. They don't have to buy it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have all this leather you cut out, $150 worth of leather or whatever, just fucking, you got to sell it at a festival or something. And
I know of an
eBay was 100%
individual
blamed for that.
had the same problem on Etsy. Individual, I think was like a buyer's remorse, complained about, and they turned around, gave the guy his money back, and because he didn't have that amount of cash in his revolving account on Etsy, they completely shuttered his store until he paid them back. And yeah, so that's no good.
Yeah, I had to learn a number of things the hard way. I remember I sold Star Trek box set DVDs a long time ago, and I sold it and I didn't put no returns and all that stuff. I just, assumed people were honest. Sold it. The guy took it, put all his scratched up DVDs back in the cases, and then said I sent him a bunch of scratched ones, sent it back, and then I had to pay the shipping on it. And so I lost money and ended up with a scratched up, like just lost everything off of it.
Yeah.
And but
Humans.
over there, I could bitch about eBay all day.
I mean, who was it? Well, you were telling me about a guy who had a racket with the Legos.
Oh yeah, just recently. I was going to share this on the thing. It was on my list, but damn it, guys, I'm sorry. I've been, like I said, just peeling off.
Well, share this one because it blew me away.
This guy started. I think he did some 100,000. If I remember right.
John, you are breaking up again.
Oh, fuck.
And now your vocals are back. Try it. Go ahead and try it again. If not, then I'll tell the story. Go ahead.
So this guy, what he was doing was going to Targets, because Targets has the best Legos. They just do. They have the best Legos. And he would go buy these expensive sets, take them home, dump them out, do like we all do, separate your minifigs and different stuff. And then he would sell the minifigs and stuff online, and he would take and buy elbow macaroni noodle in a package. So he would fill the box back up with elbow macaroni noodles and then glue it back shut. That way, when you shake it, it sounds like a bunch of Lego packages in there, but it's just macaroni in packages. And then they would take it, put it back on the shelf to sell. And then a couple months later, as people are starting to they're bringing back in macaroni boxes and going, hey, this is full of macaroni. They started figuring it out and they were able to get the guy. And if I recall, after the time they got him, it was almost $750,000 in Lego sales that he had corrupted. And his house was just full.
That's just that part. Now you throw in how much he made, off of piecing it out, because just like a car, you'll make more money on the parts than you will on the whole car. And yeah, so he probably had enough to pay for a lawyer, hopefully.
I would think, but they probably also they're showing pictures of all, like his house is just full of trays of all the Legos. I mean, like you see in a lot of Lego collections. And it's like, they seized all that stuff. So collections he had personally, it'd be like me stealing some comics, and then they'd come in, they would just take all my comics. It's not like they would go, oh, well, these were obviously his, or no, they would just take them all as evidence.
Yeah.
I'd be lucky to ever see him again, or they might come back in bad shape, or that's another reason I guess I won't do those fake autographs. I don't want them to come stealing the real ones. So, I wanted to show off a couple prints before we get too far, because since Gabe has been printing like crazy, he's now left me in the dust. Hang on, Berto says something like that happened with Nike, and they sued the guy like crazy.
Oh yeah.
I think they just busted him last week. So I'll try to look up the story, because it is very possible I'm quoting part of it wrong, because I did not come prepared with that. But it fascinated me for sure, because I was like, well, where's that guy when I was looking for that Ghostbusters Firehouse I can't afford? I could have got it cheaper from him. Or maybe I need to go everything I want Lego's been discontinued, so I guess I can't go do that. But
They apparently are coming out with their new largest ever Lego set. It's of that one huge church that took like 100 years to finish.
I don't know.
Oh, you talk about what you're talking about. I'll look it up.
Okay. I don't know. Not like the Sistine Chapel or something like that.
No, makes the 16th chapel look tiny.
Okay. So Gabe has surpassed me, and since my printers haven't been working lately, he just dove. Like, we were actually splitting where you buy like 10 rolls at a time, so we could each get a free roll. He's just buying 10 rolls at a time himself now. But he has at least been printing me some stuff. So I keep a couple of vape pens by my bed in case I need help sleeping at night. So I needed a holder for my vape pens. So he went home and designed this one, if you can see it. For those on the audio, it's not painted yet, but it's just Wolverine's hand.
Nice.
He enlarged it, made holes in the top, took the claws off, made holes in the top, and then now it holds my vape pens for me. And I just thought that was really cool. And then the other thing he made this week, I only got part of it here. He is making this for a wall hanger, but it is also going to be for cosplay. So I'll show you what I got of it. But this full-size helmet, unpainted still.
Oh, wow.
But
that helmet looks familiar. What is that helmet?
It is Demon Slayer, I think. I can't recall. It's anime. I just can't recall. This is one reason I'm selling the Anime Fest. I get circles running around me all the time on that shit now. So, but yeah, no, I'm real proud of the stuff he's doing, and he is. I got to look to him for advice on stuff all the time now. Got better machines than I do. He can write the programs, and hell, he just dropped off 32 miniatures with Cookie today that he had printed on his resin printer for the Turtle Island game.
Here is that sculpture. I mean that Lego set. It is the Sagrada Familia is the name of the church place.
So what we're looking at here, for those on the audio version, it looks like the base is about
big ass Lego set's what we're looking at. Is it
2.5 foot by 4 foot base? I'm gonna guess, and about 4 foot tall. It's huge. Like
maybe even 5 foot.
6. Yeah, the 6 tier or 5 tiers on it are probably about 5 foot, and then the actual building might be 3 foot.
Yeah, it is just huge. And let me stop the sharing. And yeah, it is a monster of a set, and that's going to be their new largest Lego set ever. But since it's rumored to release July 1st for roughly $600, so even though it's the largest set, it's still cheaper than anything with Star Wars on it. And it's 12,060 pieces.
Yeah, Christy and I were actually talking about this earlier today after you left, because we talked Legos a little bit. Anymore, it's not even about the pieces; it's about the IPs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the bigger the IP, the more they're charging for it. And I think it was you even telling me that there are the influx of females coming to Lego is like huge now.
Yeah, and just my wife Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
You love Legos, don't you?
Fuck yeah, I do.
See, she says, "Fuck yeah, she does." She loves Legos. My sisters love the Legos now. Matter of fact, there are more Lego sets in this house now that are hers than there are mine.
True story.
See, that's good. You got to out-geek him a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't wait. The new Lego that they're releasing, I think it's June or July. They're having a set of like forest mushrooms, and I cannot wait to get it. I told him as soon as I see it, it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a Christy thing too. She'd be into that. Now, see, I could use that to get Christy into some Lego stuff.
Some of the botanical stuff that they have going, she would absolutely love.
If I was going to do that, though, it's got to be like, I would love to do Legos with her. Sure, that'd be great. But I'd rather get her into something. No. See, you got to get her into something that she likes first, and then once you set the hook,
then you reel it in over to where you want. But first, you got to start off with what she likes.
It'll be like the conversation we had earlier. Legos to get more people into modeling.
Yes.
Because then I can get Christy into modeling, maybe.
Yeah. And that's the thing, especially with 3D printing. There's all kinds of small, figures and stuff like that she would probably love to be able to paint. I mean, if I ever finished making that She-Ra one for Jessica, she would love the crap out of that one.
I really would.
Yeah.
Have you gone onto the Lego and voted on Legos?
I have gone on to see the different figs and stuff like that, the order catalogs.
There is a site, it was Lego Inspiration, or
It's on lego.com, and it's like a voting section, and that's how they pick. Sorry, I know I'm interrupting you.
Oh,
That's
I
how
know
they
what you're
pick,
talking
like,
about.
Yeah, so you go on and vote, and then as the things that you vote for accumulate enough votes to be considered as a set, then they move on to like the next round of voting.
I think they're coming out with, because of that, they're coming out with the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the whole library.
Yeah, you could vote on
from
the library.
Sunnydale High.
Yeah, you could vote on the library. You could vote on
There's
a graveyard one.
Dozens, there's like 100 different ones there to vote. Some of them have already reached, the apex where they need. Some of them you're like, should I even give it a sympathy vote? No, that's crap. They don't need to be encouraged.
I think I saw this about a year and a half ago. They did an article on one that was a Polaroid camera. And
Yes.
it was a person like you and I had made it, sent it in, and now Lego is making that Polaroid camera because enough people voted on it. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah,
that's this site. That's where you go. Somebody makes it, and then you go vote on whether it becomes.
I do not want to count the number of date nights that Jessica and I have had where we literally sit across from each other at the table while waiting for our food to come out, each of us on our phones, and go, oh, did you see this one yet? Okay, I'm voting for that one. You make sure you vote for that one too. And we're going through the list of new Legos together.
Legit.
Well, I'll definitely tell Christy about the mushroom ones, because like
the fourth mushroom, I think it is.
Like 2 years ago, you guys had gotten Christina a Lego Pikachu.
That was Jessica.
And we put that together, in which now then that meant like Diego got a Lego Charmander. And so now it's become like a thing. So she gets Lego Pokemon and we put them together. And then you go to garage sales or whatever, and then she'll go down and play with my Legos and we'll just buy stuff. So we can at least do that together. And if Christy has a kit to put together, that'd be something good for her and T to sit down and do. And then we can just make a whole, I got to do something with my Legos or get rid of them. I know years ago, I doubt he's still on here, but when Randall was the guy I was actually going to try to get to start doing Lego dioramas for conventions where you get paid to set them up. But
there is, just like there is, the Plastic Modelers Association, just like there's Trekkies and there's Ghostbuster, there is an entire group here in town just for Legos, and they do some hellacious builds. Do you remember like out at McConnell?
They were actually supposed to be at Anime Fest this year and then couldn't make it.
That's a shame, because that one guy out at McConnellCon, he was a nuke a nuke tech, when he was in the service, and he built a whole scale model of the Minuteman missile or Triton missile, whatever the hell it was. He did the whole silo and everything, and he built that himself.
Well, that guy
he got me was from Wednesday, and it's at Black Dahlia, and so like the base of it opens up and is like their it's like their classroom that they have for like the plants and everything. It's like their botanicals classroom.
Yeah. He was telling me that they had the new Wednesday stuff. That guy I think you're talking about, when I talked to him, the whole reason they didn't make the Anime Fest is because they'd moved Lego Con, because we have a Lego convention in Wichita, and they moved it the same weekend as Anime Fest.
I remember that last year. Last year they did that.
Yeah.
There's
That was last year.
On the west side of town now.
Huh?
There's a Lego store out west. I can't remember what it's called, but I know there is one out west that sells a lot of Legos, because Beck and her husband get Legos there all the time.
There's a brick store on the east side too, over by Frankie's. I've never
Apparently,
been
they
on.
have more stuff at the west side than they have on the east side. Like they have whole
Oh,
Lego kits, and I know that.
I saw the
Um,
Lego store on the west side because it's way out there by in that shopping mall, isn't it? Out by
yeah.
Maze. Okay.
hmm
Yeah.
And then there's, if you ever go to Imagine That Toys, when you walk in the door, there's a floor to ceiling, a whole wall of Imagine That Toys is nothing but Legos.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's we shouldn't talk about. It's like talking about Warhammer. I shouldn't talk about it because I'll get back into it.
No,
I
no,
got
no,
enough.
no.
I got enough stupid hobbies. So
Yeah. No, see, Lego, and like we said, Lego is for, like, you know, entry level people, and people that don't want to spend the time to actually, you know, create a full on real, because a lot of Legos, when you build it, you hold it up and you squint, and you're like, okay, if I squint, it looks like the thing it's supposed to look like. All
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
But then you get to the level that you and I are doing, and that shit looks exactly like what it's supposed to look like.
Well, and Legos have a little bit of that IP thing like Funko Pops do, where
Oh,
sometimes
totally.
you're like, oh, I'm just buying it because like all the Lego stuff I have bought that's not at a garage sale, because you'll buy something because it's just cheap at a garage sale, but uh anything new I've bought has been like from Ghostbuster stuff, like the new Ecto or something. And then I don't even put it together because I'm like, oh, I'll keep it in a package and put it right, fucking. So it's
You see, you're one of those ones who needs to buy two of them.
I do
One
a
that he
lot of that.
saves and one that he plays with.
I do a lot of that, and I hate it. Although there's a lot that I did back in like the '90s that I'm
Hmm.
glad I did, and then the late '80s, because a lot of it you're like, oh, I'll keep the bagged edition, and then I'll keep the one with the UPC that's bagged, and then the one without the UPC that's not bagged, and then the one that's signed by the artist that's bagged, and then the one signed by the artist that's not bagged. So I've got 12 copies of blah
Hmm.
blah blah, and some of them, like some of the X Force and X Men stuff, all worthless. But there's some of that shit I bought, like some first appearances, like Deadpool and shit. I'm very glad I bought
Very
multiples
much
of,
so.
you know. So, anywho's,
Kelly asked, "Did you like the flag I got you?"
like it got me trying to
Well,
remember.
he didn't get it from me, so must be you.
I know you just got in here, Kelly, or whatever. I might just be sick enough. I'm not remembering the flag because I just bought 7 flags today too. I don't I can't remember the flag. Damn it! You're gonna have to
Hmm.
remind me. Um, but yeah, I bought a whole bunch of new pirate flags and Renaissance flags for all the flag poles I have that I take to festivals.
I was
So
just thinking about, because I saw, like a year or two ago, I saw that the 501st have built these very interesting flag stands at a PVC,
mhm.
where they just basically got PVC, and just by using the elbow joints and everything like that, created a base and a stand up and things so they can hang and drape their flags at the cons. And
Mhm.
I really need to take a picture of one of those, and that way I can recreate that.
If you want, if you ever need, just the screens, like you always see celebrities in their booth, and they got a screen with a banner behind it, and it's got the
Yeah.
the pull out frames. I've got about 40 of those in my basement. I just got tons of them. I use them for all sorts of stuff. I use them for stage decorations. I use them for movie screens. I buy them for conventions over the years. Matter of fact, well, I was going to say like Dustin's on here. I've given him some before, or but yeah, I just got tons of them. All that stuff, and some of that's getting sold with the Anime Fest, but there's a lot of it. It's just mine. I'm hanging on to. So if you need that stuff, a matter of fact, I got to do some kind of big sale. I've got so much stuff, like literally storage units full of shit just to run conventions that I just don't need. I got
Well,
a,
yeah,
got a building.
I might hit you up for a couple of those, because I
Yeah,
I know that we need them for the little group.
yeah. I got a building that garage is just full of nothing but all the Zombie Fest stuff that has just, I don't even think I've unlocked it in a year. You know.
And yes, Roberto, John does just forget all flags. He is not Sheldon. He's not having fun with flags.
um, I did. I didn't even tell you about this, and I know this is
Hmm,
not con related, but
that's okay.
I went to my daughter's house yesterday, and my son-in-law is always doing weird stuff. Like one time he just said, "Hey, I bought a yacht." Do you what? Yeah, like a 3-story yacht. Picture him sitting on top of it in Florida, and he buys them, learns how to work on them, sells them. He does shit like that a lot. So he's like, "Oh, look what I bought." He bought two airplanes. One's an ultralight, and the other one is a little one-person airplane. I got pictures. I need to post them up online. Sitting in the driveway, and he got a really good deal. It was a guy he was helping clean out an airplane hangar. They had him up for sale, and when it was all said and done, he cut him a hell of a deal. And he's like, I don't want to say how much he paid for it because one of them he's going to resell and one of them he's going to keep. But he got a really good deal. He's got to do some work on it, and it is like the ultralight's really cool. The airplane, it is weird to see how I don't want to say cheap's not the right word. How light built it is.
Oh, they have to be.
Like there are parts of it are just wrapped in fabric,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, well, so there's just
Now,
fabric between you
here's
and
what
it.
I want you to do because, not to speak ill of your son-in-law, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
he doesn't always make the best decisions. So you're going to go over there and you're going to take the prop off that plane
Oh, he
until
already
he
has.
has some good insurance. All right. And then once he has some good insurance, you go ahead and put that prop back on and let him, experience life to its fullest. That way, when something happens, your daughter and the grandchildren are taken care of.
Uh, yeah, no, that was the first thing I said when I went over there. I said, "Oh, I got to come see this thing that's going to make me lose one son-in-law."
Yeah.
And he's like, but he has mellowed out quite a bit, and even he's like, yeah, no, I'm not. Right now, I'm just planning on making sure the engines all turn over and everything's good. It's not like he's planning on going out and flying them right away and that
No,
kind of stuff.
no.
Yeah.
The ultralight, depending on the ultralight, he might be able to fly it without a license.
Mhm.
Um, but anything that goes above, I believe, 60 miles an hour or weighs more than, I think it's 200 pounds, I can be totally off. Um, those require that you actually have a pilot's license to operate. So,
Yeah.
no.
His next step's
Um,
going to be going talking to my dad because my dad he doesn't have it anymore, but he had his pilot's license for a long time.
mhm.
And Gabe actually was in the process of learning, and
Yeah,
we just didn't
I
follow
did
up on
too
it.
until my finances ran out.
Uh, part of it was me. I'd say it because I went up in the plane with him the first time with Gabe when he was flying. Oh, it scared. I used to not have a fear of heights at all, at all. I went up in that plane, and I probably have left marks that are still in Christie's leg. It freaked me out. I mean, he had his the guy teaching him there in
Yeah,
the.
he had the
We
instructor.
were all perfectly safe, but there's times like that guy
Uh-huh.
would just he'd just turn around, be talking with us, leaning over the seat, and Gabe's up there flying. And he's like, "No, remember, Gabe, when we go over the water here, you're gonna hit this or whatever." And you're like,
Yeah,
"Motherfucker, turn around and help him. Do not talk to me. Don't say remember. Just fucking yeah."
when I was taking it, the gentleman teaching me, Mr. Pritchard, he had been flying since I guess since the Wright brothers. He was an old guy, and his son was a stunt pilot. All right, so this guy had absolutely no fear,
Just
and
because you get a lot of
literally
crashes don't mean you're a stunt pilot. I'm just saying.
well, no, he actually walked away from him. And but Mr. Pritchard would do stuff just like we're taking off, and just like 100 or so feet up, he would just reach over, slam the throttle closed, so the plane just shuts down. He goes, "Okay, now where are you going to land?" 5, 4. I'm like, there. And he'd put the throttle back on. Okay, this is why you just killed us. And he'd tell me everything that I did wrong. I remember when I first went for my
It's a
first
good way to make you
lesson.
remember, though. You
Oh
remembered that
God,
shit.
yes.
Yeah.
I was always looking for a landing spot after that. When I first showed up, the guy told me, he's like, okay, remember, um, blue is up, brown is down, and if things are getting bigger, you're getting closer. All right, you remember that, you're good to go. Uh,
Well, I think that was one of the things that scared me too, was how simple all these pilots always acted like everything was. And I'm like, no, flying a plane should be difficult. It should
mhm.
be difficult. I don't know. It's it just was not for me, I guess. Kelly said he gave that flag to Gabe. No, I didn't see the picture you sent me for Ash. I will look here real quick.
Huh.
But no, Gabe must not have given it to me yet. In fairness, I've been sick since Sunday, so Gabe hasn't been coming over as much.
Wise man.
Didn't think anything was contagious, but you know, I say now as Daryl came over this morning.
Well, yeah, you say it as Christy's on the couch, not feeling good right now.
That was my deal. I've been down since Sunday, and I was like, it's not contagious. It's all just muscle or something. Like I'm deficient in iron. Something's going on, and then today I started feeling a little better, and Christy's feeling bad now. So we'll see. I'm looking to see what flag Kelly sent here or what picture. Holy shit, I missed a lot of messages, people. Sorry.
That's okay. We're used to you not replying to us.
So the picture you sent me, Kelly, I believe I have sent this to Daryl before. It is a picture currently on Facebook Marketplace of somebody, I think in Derby, that has about a 4 foot long, I'm going to say Enterprise. I'm going to send it to you, Daryl. But
all right, I'm pulling up Messenger.
This is currently for sale here in the Wichita area.
It's a flag?
No. This is a Enterprise prop kind of thing. We get little cool props every once in a while. Either somebody made
that one?
yard. Yeah.
Hold on, let me see if that was the one that you sent me before. Oh God. Okay. Let me share that for the group.
Not long ago, somebody made a full size DeLorean from Back to the Future. I almost bought for $300, and it was all made of fabric and wood.
Okay, I'm sharing this up, and whoever made this has a lot of artistic enthusiasm. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah.
I can't zoom in, but basically, they have done the things where it's basically it's found art. They found things that when they looked at it, they thought, hey, you know what? This could make a spaceship. Let me get more of this and put it together and make a spaceship. And
it looks like
special.
The wings on it look more bird of prey like than they do Enterprise like.
Yeah,
I think
instead of the nacelles going up and behind, they go down and behind. And the saucer section is like, God, what is that? That is like two bell housings that have been put together with a frisbee in the middle. No, that's actually a Tupperware lid. You look at that. That is a Tupperware lid because you can see the ribbing on the inside, just like the old school Tupperware lids are. That's a Tupperware lid.
That would be the size of a trash can, though.
Maybe. Well, I don't know what size the whole thing is.
It looks like it's about 4 foot long to me.
Well, that's the reason that you went on some very disappointing dates because it wasn't as big as you thought it was.
They were only disappointing for one person, and I wasn't.
Well, I know. The important part is you had fun.
Yeah, that's all it matters. I got no energy to fucking care. Oh God, sorry guys.
No worries. Look, we've been going an hour. You're feeling sick, so
I'm winding down a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, almost canceled. But I thought I actually had some stuff to share a little bit, and next week I'll get some news going. I know I got some news to share from McConnellCon, and from Anime Fest.
That'll be good to know.
We'll talk about it next week.
Alrighty. So everybody, lovely talking to you. We'll see you next week.
Hugs and kisses.
Bye-bye.